what if I told you that there was a side hustle that you could do from home to earn yourself thousands of dollars per month? And the entire side hustle could be passive once you build it out. I'm about to share with you what I find to be one of the easiest passive digital side hustles that could earn you $46,365 per month. Yes, for real. If you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I started as a broke college dropout with just 81 cents to my name. This was my POS car, and I leveraged that into a multiple six-figure per year photography studio. Soon, other photographers started asking me how I did it, so I started to create free content online to grow my following and pay digital products, and I grew that into a $2 million per year digital info products business. Today, I help content creators and aspiring content creators just like you to monetize your following with digital info products so you can help your followers on a deeper level and make a full-time living doing what you love. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you probably know that this video is going to talk about digital products, but more specifically today, I want to talk about the digital side hustle of online courses because I am no stranger to online courses. In fact, I've done millions of dollars in revenue with online courses over the years. And I got started with digital products back in 2014. I created things like ebooks and workshops to get started, but what helped me scale and make the big bucks is premium priced online courses. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Creating an online course isn't necessarily easy. First of all, you have to have the information to share in an online course to actually help people. However, I do think that every single person has something already inside of them that they can share. So you just have to figure out what that is. But one of the things with online courses is that it can take long to create the actual course, which is why I'll talk about pre-selling in a minute here. But now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the best part of having an online course. And that is, of course, passive income. Because the thing is that once you have this built out, you truly can use this as a stream of consistent passive income. So I'm going to share with you guys how I got started with online courses all the way up until making tens of thousands of dollars a month consistently and passively with online courses and how you can do it too. So I got started, like I said, back in 2014 with digital products. I started out with things like ebooks and workshops, which is great, by the way. I made a bunch of sales with those. I helped a bunch of people, but I was ready to really go to the next level, be able to help people on an even deeper level, really help them get an even deeper transformation, and also be able to create what I like to call a premium priced online course, because it is a lot easier to scale your business once you have something that you can charge a lot of money for. Obviously, if you sell something for $1,000 or $2,000 versus something for $10 or $20, it's definitely going to help your business scale up. And no shade to low price digital products. I sell them, I buy them, I teach my students how to do it. They're great and you're going to want to start there. But eventually when you're ready to scale, I recommend adding on something like a premium priced online course. So just like with any digital product or any product really, you're going to need traffic. You're going to need a way to sell this thing to people who are interested. So for me, I like to grow via organic content. So back in the day, I grew pretty big with blogging and Pinterest. And today, I'm pretty sure you know the answer because you're already on my channel, but I have grown via YouTube. YouTube is incredible. I would recommend it to anyone wanting to get started on YouTube. It has just brought me so much traffic, so many ideal clients. I've been able to help so many people through my free and paid content. So I really cannot recommend getting on YouTube enough. And in my YouTube videos, I always mention a freebie. I have lots of freebies in the links in the description below this video that you can check out. And when you go to download a freebie, you put in your name and email so we can deliver it to you. And that also gets you on our email list so that we can nurture you further, give you more free content, and of course, invite you into any of our paid programs if you're interested in learning more. Now, one of the ways that selling a premium price online course is different than a low price digital product is the way you sell it. A low price digital products like ebooks and workshops in a lot of ways can be seen as easier to sell because you don't need to have, say, a sales team or do live sales presentations or talk to people one-on-one. You can simply just have a checkout page. Since the price is low enough, typically under $100, people will just go, hey, I'm willing to give this a try. So it is a lot easier to sell. I've heard people say like selling a $10,000 product is just as hard as selling a $10 product. And I call on that. I definitely do not agree with that. I definitely think it's easier to sell low price products, but once you're ready to scale, it's really nice to have a premium price online course. So you're probably thinking, okay, then how do you sell a premium price online course? And I have one word for you, webinar. So what I do with a premium price online course is if this is the first time I'm ever selling it, I will pre-sell it. That is where I come up with what's the program, what's the solution it's going to solve, what am I going to teach? And I'll actually do a webinar and sell people in, and I'll let them know that this course starts starts on this date. Usually the date will be 2 or 4 or 6 weeks out from when I'm selling it. So that way people are buying it now. They're getting in typically at a lower price because they're buying it pre-sold. They're buying it before it's created. And then I'll go ahead and create modules 1, 2, maybe 3. I'll have those ready for people during the live date. And I'll also let them know, hey, each week we're going to be releasing a new module. So it's really fun for them because they get to be the first people in. They get the most attention from, say, me and my team because we're doing things live with them. And it's just a lot of fun. And you get to pre-sell it and get the money up front to prove that your course idea is valid before putting all of that time into creating it. Because that is one of the ways that courses is harder than a low price digital product, is it does take a lot longer to create it. But on the plus side, you can charge a lot more and you can help people with a much harder problem to solve. I just realized you might be wondering, what the heck is a webinar? So a webinar essentially is a free training where you are saying, hey, in this free training, we're going to cover X, Y, Z. And then at the very end of the training, you're going to mention your course and people can choose to sign up and pay for it if they want to. If they don't, if they just want the free content in the free training, they can do that as well. So for me, I like to do a live webinar every single week until it's converting. Typically, I like to get about a 30% show up rate. That means the amount of people that opted into the webinar, I want at least 30% of those people showing up live to the webinar. Then out of the people that showed up live, I want at least 10, if not 20% of those people to purchase. This is going to depend a lot on your skills and experience with webinars and sales. And it's also going to depend on the price of your course and how many testimonials, all that kind of stuff. So the more you do your course, the more testimonials you get, the better you get, the easier it's going to be to sell and the higher your conversions will become. And that's why I recommend doing your live webinar weekly until it's converting, because the cool thing is that once you get it converting, now you can take that live webinar and you can automate it. People call this an automated webinar funnel or an evergreen webinar funnel. Whatever you call it, it's the best because now you can generate consistent passive income. This is where this comes into play. So recently I did a live webinar for a live launch of ours and it converted very well. And we used this software called Webinar Jam to do it live. The cool thing with Webinar Jam is with one click, you can turn your live webinar into an automated webinar and it actually recreates the live. So it will show the comments that were given during the live. It will recreate it so that it feels live even though it's auto. And don't worry, I don't lie to people and tell them it's live. I always say it's on demand, which is what I recommend for you too. But it's still really cool and it converts higher because it holds people's attention better and makes them feel like they're part of that live. That said, if you're not ready to invest in something like Webinar Jam, I have used System.io's built-in auto webinar version of their software, which if you've watched any of my videos, you know I use System.io for essentially everything to run my entire business. And their auto webinar funnel software is amazing as well. So you can check that out in the link in the description below this video because I use it for everything like building my email list, sending emails, auto webinars, checkout pages, digital product hosting, sales pages, literally everything. And you can actually try System.io and create a completely free account in that link in the description below this video. Oh, and I should also add that I have a freebie, which is a free email list building funnel so that you can move your followers to email list subscribers, because people on your email list convert 40 times more into sales than social media alone. So email is a huge, huge, huge part of my strategy. Okay, so let's do a little bit of math here because I want to show you that when it comes to converting and getting sales with a course, it all boils down to the data. It all boils down to the math. And I want to get you a little bit excited about the math here. So let's say that you're going to get 500 people to opt in to your live webinar. Now, let's say you get 30% of those people to show up. So that's 150 people, okay? Which that's a great show up rate, by the way. You should aim for about 30% or higher if it's organic traffic. If it's paid traffic, I would go for 17% or higher. Now, let's say you have those 150 people on your webinar and you convert 20%. That's gonna be 30 sales. Now, if your premium price online course is $1,000, that's $30,000 revenue. Crazy, right? And of course, if your premium price online course is $2,000, then that's $60,000 in revenue just from 500 people on a live training. Isn't that wild? I really hope that gets you guys excited and shows you just how valuable building your following really is. If you're building your following online and you're sharing helpful information, you know that there are people out there that need what you have to say. They have problems that they need solved and they're seeking it out to find it. And that's what's so great about free organic content. People will find you, meaning they already have that problem. problem. They're actively seeking it out, which is why you can have such great conversion rates versus paid ads just being thrown in people's faces. It's like you're getting a client who you've pretty much begged to come to your training from a paid ad versus someone's actively looking for help with organic, okay? So building an organic following, something like YouTube or blogging and Pinterest, is super crucial to the success of your online digital products business. So again, if you're watching this and you're like, I want to do this, I want to make consistent passive income, then again, growing your email list is key. So I just want to mention the freebie I have as a link in the description below this video, because it is a free funnel. It's a freebie funnel that's going to help you grow your email list. So I'm actually giving you my funnel so that you could move your followers to email list subscribers. So go in the description below this video and download that now. Because if you've learned anything from this video, it's that the amount of followers and email subscribers is key, because it all comes down to math and data. And what that means is that the more traffic you get, the more sales you make, and the more people you're able to help. Okay, so let's boil this down into a 3-part easy to follow framework. Part number 1, grow a following and send them a survey to figure out what it is they want. What's the problem they have, so that you can create your course around that and know that it's going to sell. Number 2, pre-sell your online course with a live webinar. Come up with dates that the course is going to start, and then you can create the content as you go along with your students. Not only is this great to get money up front and prove your concept, and it also gets your students more direct access to you, but you're also able to build your course along with them. Meaning, if you just create the course with what you think should go in it, it's not going to be as helpful as if you help the students collaborate on creating the course. They can tell you their questions in real time, and you can make sure that they are included in an upcoming module, which essentially ends up making your course better. And number 3, to sell your course, do live webinars until they're converting and then turn them auto. Then once you have it auto and the conversions are stable, all you got to do is keep sending more traffic. Consistent traffic means consistent sales, means you're consistently helping your ideal customers. Now I know I said this is one of the easiest side hustles, and you're probably thinking, easy? This sounds like a lot of work. And the truth is that anything is going to be an amount of work. But out of all the different side hustles I've tried, I find this to be one of the easiest and most enjoyable side hustles. I've had a lot of people tell me, well, it's not passive income. The only thing that's passive is the stock market. Well, you still have to make that money to put it into the stock market, so nothing's entirely passive. Also, if you look up the definition for passive income, it just says that it's earned with minimal labor. It doesn't say no labor. It says minimal labor. So I think it's crazy the amount of people that want to argue that if there's any labor involved, it's not passive income. That's not true. The cool thing with digital products and courses is you build them up front, and then once that's done, you can sell them consistently for passive income for months, years, decades to come. So yes, there is work up front, but it is well worth it. I am living proof. I've been able to pay off all my debt, move to my dream state, buy my dream house. My husband and I travel all the time. I've been to over 28 countries, and I don't say any of this to brag. I just want to show you guys that this is real. This can change your life. And the reason I love it so much isn't necessarily just because of the time freedom and the money, although that's great. But if you think about it, the more people I help to create their own education businesses through courses and digital products, the more people who are getting really great education. Because if you're anything like me, you might think that our traditional education system, like college and high school and all that's a little bit broken. It's a bit outdated. I went to school for marketing, and social media was huge at the time, and they never even talked about it because they're teaching from textbooks that are decades old. And that's what I love about online education, is we can truly change how education works, and we can share the things that are working in real time. So I know the more people that I help to create their own education businesses, the more people that are getting better education all around the world. Now that you know what I believe to be one of the easiest digital side hustles, you might be wondering how to actually go about creating and selling your course a little bit more step by step. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be more powerful. See you in the next video.